Hi everyone, welcome back to Show Me Mo Vegan. If you're new here, I'm Wendy and this is where I make easy whole food vegan meals. The purpose of this channel is not to convince anyone to be vegan, but rather for those interested in being vegan, I want to show that it's possible to be healthy as a vegan. As part of that mission, I'm going to share my updated blood work today. Last year, after I had only been vegan for 1 year, I shared my blood work, and now today I've been vegan just over 2 years and want to show you the updates. I'm not going to go over every little detail here, but rather focus on the things that are important for my own personal health, as well as common concerns for vegans. So first up is cholesterol. This is of particular interest to me because before going vegan, I had high cholesterol. And like many Americans, heart disease runs in my family. And through my 20s and early 30s, my cholesterol was always usually between about 220 and 230. I wasn't on any medications for it yet, but I wasn't happy with those numbers. I looked back at my last blood work before going vegan, and at that time my cholesterol was 221. After 1 year of being vegan, my cholesterol plummeted to 131. And this year, it's at 129, which is fantastic. If you follow Dr. Esselstyn, he often talks about how if you're eating a strictly whole food plant-based diet and you can get your total cholesterol under 150, you're basically heart attack proof. You might notice that my HDL is technically too low. If you remember, HDL is considered to be your good cholesterol, so generally we're told to get that one higher. But my doctor isn't concerned with my level, and I'm not either. I wish I could remember which plant-based doctor said this, and if anyone else knows, leave a comment down below. But I was watching Chef AJ, and she interviewed someone who described HDL as our garbage trucks. In other words, if you have an overall high cholesterol, you need a lot of garbage trucks to help clean things up. But when your total cholesterol is low, you don't need as many garbage trucks. So that's why if, in general, your total cholesterol is lower, your HDL is probably going to be lower as well. Of course, I'm not a doctor, so definitely go over your own numbers with your own doctor. Everyone's individual situation is different. Next, let's go to my fasting glucose and A1C. These are of particular interest to me because diabetes also runs in my family. Both my mom and dad have diabetes. Well, I should say my mom had diabetes. She's effectively reversed it and gotten off all of her diabetes medications after switching to a whole food plant-based diet. But she also had gestational diabetes when she was pregnant with me. And my understanding is that when a woman has gestational diabetes, that baby is more likely to have diabetes as an adult. So not only did I already have the family history, but that put me at an even greater risk. But as you can see, my fasting glucose is perfect and my A1C is perfect as well. Moving on, I'm not going to cover most of these here because, like I said, I'm not a doctor, and to be honest, I don't know what a lot of these mean. I'm happy to see that some of these numbers are all in the normal range because when I was suffering with ulcerative colitis, a lot of these were out of whack, which at the time I was told had to do something with inflammation in my body. I'm happy to report since switching to a whole food vegan diet, not only have my ulcerative colitis symptoms gone away, but as you can see, all of my numbers are back to normal as well. Then we also checked my iodine levels, because in the past my TSH and T4 had been out of whack, which are markers of thyroid health which can be affected by iodine levels. I stopped using iodized salt before I went vegan, and now I don't really use salt at all, so I'm not getting it that way, although I do eat some sea vegetables, which are a good source of iodine. But we wanted to make sure that my levels were okay. As you can see, it's just barely outside of the normal range, but I'm pretty happy with that. Since we had never checked it before, we don't have anything to compare it to. But my theory is that my iodine level is actually increasing. Because if we look now at my T4 and TSH, they are back in the normal range. Again, I don't have any way to know that for sure since I had never checked iodine before, and that's just my theory, but I'm definitely happy that my thyroid seems to be getting back to normal. Then the last things I want to talk about are B12 and vitamin D. I definitely recommend supplementing B12. Most doctors say that it might be worthwhile to supplement vitamin D as well because most of us aren't getting enough sunshine. So I personally do supplement with both of these, but not every single day. So I wanted to check my levels to make sure my supplementation was adequate. If you look at my B12, technically it's in the normal range according to this chart, but it's actually a little lower than it was last year. And they even have a note here that levels under 400 may not be quite adequate. And this is exactly why I wanted to check. Last year, I had been taking my B12 about every other day, but over the last year, I kind of slacked off and was only taking it maybe twice a week. So I think that change is probably what resulted in the drop. Like I said, technically my B12 is still in the normal range, but having this information is helpful because it tells me I can supplement a little more, which I have done since getting my results. My vitamin D is also low this year, but I wasn't really surprised by this at all. I used to go outside almost every day to take a walk, but over the last year I became more of a homebody and I was hardly going outside at all. Plus, I was sort of slacking off on my vitamin D and I didn't remember to take it every day. So I really wasn't surprised to see that my vitamin D level was low. But it's an easy fix. I've already started going outside more, and I'm making sure to take that vitamin D supplement every single day. So overall, my lab results were really great. I'm especially excited about my cholesterol, A1C, and thyroid numbers. And the couple of things that were a little off were just my B12 and vitamin D, but those are easy fixes. So as you can see, it is possible to be healthy on a whole food vegan diet. If you ever have any concerns, it's always a good idea to ask your doctor if you need to have anything tested, to see if maybe you need to supplement with anything. You never want to start randomly supplementing with things without checking your levels first, because just as it's bad to be deficient in something, it can be bad to overdose in certain nutrients as well. As vegans, we generally only need to worry about B12 and vitamin D. But as always, every situation is different, so that's where your doctor comes in and they can help you with that. Thanks for hanging with me. Leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought. And as always, I appreciate if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.